Genomics, technical analysis, fundamental statistics, along with reviewing my current positions and their price targets. Starting off with the price action, we broke out of this descending level of resistance here. Volume confirmed breakout. There are a few signs that indicate to me that this is going to be a confirmed breakout. Number one, as I said, we got the volume to help us confirm the breakout. Number two, once we started to get that volume, it wasn't just a small spike. It was a large push, a big engulfing candle there that indicates that, okay, we did turn this into the new support. And of course, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hourly closes, 1 hourly closes above this previous level of resistance. Now it will be acting as a level of support, in my opinion, especially with the NASDAQ closing above 13K. That is another very bullish sign. And with the NASDAQ controlling all of our fates, literally, that is something that is very good to see. But of course, tomorrow, NASDAQ can do, NASDAQ has a mind of its own, I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about when you buy the dip, but it keeps on dipping. But does this actually mean that the reversal is here? There are two things here that we need for a reversal, in my opinion, and we just got one of them. There are two levels of resistance, though. That is why I say, okay, it's pretty simple. There's two levels of resistance. We've broken out of one of them. We still need to break the other one. In my opinion, this is open to interpretation on what you want to call the reversal. It's not scientific, okay? But for me, once we break out of this second level of this descending level of resistance here that we have validated similar to this other one, though these are two levels that we have been validating for a while. Once we break out of that one, that will be, in my opinion, a 100% confirmed reversal. But of course, this can be wrong. And right when we break out of that, we could just freaking get delisted. Okay, who knows? But in my opinion, that's not realistic. So what does this mean for the price action? What does this mean for adding shares? What should I maybe consider doing? Okay, this is what you should consider doing. Number one, you should have these levels drawn up on your own. It's very easy. Just copy what I'm doing, okay? You don't have to be a genius to do technical analysis. Just watch the video, watch tutorials on it, okay? You could have taken profits today. Once we broke out of this level, you could have added shares. Like we always say, we're always talking about playing the breakout and then selling at the next resistance level, which the next significant level is going to be this $7.82 50% retracement level based on the bottom out of this correction here. That it was based on the bottom here, and then the peak of the little bounce there. You could have sold right there. Perfect validation, right? Basically a perfect validation. We're coming down for some consolidation. Now, as far as short term though, should I be adding shares here? Is this a good entry point, right? You guys know anything under 10 is a steal long term and even medium term. Honestly, in my mind, honestly, short term it's a steal too. A couple weeks, a couple months out, that's a steal in my opinion. But what is going to happen tomorrow? Okay, of course, this bad boy right here, our overlords, Sauron himself, basically. This is going to control what BioNano does largely. But given that the NASDAQ closed over 13K today, that is very good. I was commenting to I was talking to somebody today in the comments. I was saying if we can close above 13,000 today, that is going to be very, very good to actually see. I actually did not think that was going to happen, but we did close above 13,000, and we did see a little bit of it. We saw a sour hour, we saw a power hour, sour hour. Then at the last minute, it was like, yeah, we're going to go back up. So that is very bullish. What does this mean for BioNano though? This means that we are likely to have found a strong new support. Tomorrow, we want to see the rest of the week. We want to see the NASDAQ hold 13K. If it does, watch the NASDAQ tomorrow. If it holds 13K, adding shares if you see BioNano red tomorrow in the pre-market or any time in the near future, right? Everything is time sensitive that I say. Watch when the dates are posted and the time on all of these videos, because if it's more than 5 days old, most of it is outdated, right? That's how stocks are. But if the NASDAQ is above 13K and BioNano is dipping to like 759, if it dips a couple percent, that is a huge load up zone. Me personally, I do have a little bit of buying power now. I don't think I did any trades today, but I just got this because, my margin, when you go up a little bit, when you have a small amount of margin, when you start to go up. Anyways, I have a little bit of buying power now. That's where I will be looking to add shares right around here. But more importantly, I will be looking to add if the NASDAQ is holding 13K and BioNano is red. Because the NASDAQ is unlikely to break below 13K, man. Once we confirm that as a new support, look at BioNano, right? This is obvious. Once you break out of a level of resistance, you turn that as a new support. Guess what supports do? They push you higher when you bounce off of them. So if we were to see any dippage, we're going to firstly see this rectangular level of support now. And if we were to dip more than that, This descending level over support now is going to be bouncing us up higher. Now, what do I think is going to happen? You guys already know what I think is going to happen. Okay, long term, we're going to the moon. It's just a matter of time. So, of course, I'm biased to be very bullish, right? But what we want to see, NASDAQ hold above 13K, and we want to see a break above this descending level of resistance. Once that happens, watch it closely, watch the markets. Once we break out of this descending level of resistance, it could be time for a huge push based on the technicals alone. And remember, news trumps technical analysis, also known as catalysts, headwinds, tailwinds, or the markets, right? All of those things trump anything that Bionano wants to do on its own, because Bionano has several overlords, mostly the NASDAQ, our best friend, but not really. It's really our worst enemy, honestly. But that is what we're looking at as far as my thoughts. Let's look at some indicators. I want to look at the daily Bollinger Bands. Let's look at the middle daily Bollinger Band. That's what I want you to focus on here. Now, I know we got 1,000 lines here, right? It's basically the matrix with 1,000 numbers and those little code sheets on the computers. Remember that? All right. This middle Bollinger Band is trading at 844, though. Just look right here. Okay. 844, our current price action, we are trading at 772. What does this mean? This means that we will eventually, inevitably, touch that middle Bollinger Band. It's just a matter of time, because when you go below the middle Bollinger Band or above it, you're going to touch it eventually. So when we get to that middle Bollinger Band level of 844, that's going to be a significant resistance. So just be wary of that. I do not recommend selling there. I do not recommend selling at all for Bionano unless you're in some sort of financial freaking trouble. All right. Other than that, I would be holding, diamond handing it right now if we see any more dippage, in my opinion. Let's look at the exponential moving averages and the moving averages. All right. You guys already know this feel. Okay, watch the previous videos if you're confused about what I'm about to say, but we have all the golden crosses that you want. Bullish, everything's bullish. We're going to the moon soon. Not really, but in the long term, we definitely are. RSI, relative strength index on the daily, 43.15. We are much closer to oversold than overbought. This is bullish. The daily MACD wants to cross over. It wants to cross over the C line. Once it does, be careful. That is more like be excited, because that is going to represent some more bullish sentiment for the stock. So be careful and don't get caught off guard and see, oh, wow, we spiked 5%. Wonder why that happened. Well, you should have been checking the MACD on the daily for regularly every day, right? To see what that daily MACD is going to do. Once that crosses, that is a load up zone, in my opinion, an add share zone, in my opinion, because once that crosses, it's going to represent some heavy bullish momentum for the stock. Why has the genomic space grown so much, and is it justified? Is there reasoning behind it? What are some driving factors of the genome spike thus far? Well, one of the prominent factors, according to this website, right, and this is just an opinion, I guess, is governmental subsidies, basically, okay, government-funded genome projects, okay? Well, this is actually very relevant to Bionano. Now, hear me out on this little rant here. This is another one of my unique ideas that you're never going to hear anywhere else, okay? So, according to Eric Holmlund, the CEO of Bionano Genomics, the optical genome mapping space, the innovation that is left to be found and created, it is 1,000 times more than what is left to be found in the long read sequencing / Illumina / PacBio / essentially any other genome company, because Bionano Genomics is completely one of a kind to my knowledge. I have searched Google countless times, and I have asked people plenty of times, and I've looked on Simply Wall Street, which we are going to do. I don't know of any company out there. Please let me know if you do this. I could be totally wrong, but I don't know of any company that does optical genome mapping in the way that Bionano does, or even in a similar way. I don't know. Do they have any direct competition? Direct is a key word. I'm not saying do they have any competition. You can say that. You can say PacBio is the direct competition. I don't think so. Here's why. According to Eric, and I'm gonna tie this into the government subsidies in a second, hopefully. Hold on. Hear me out. Okay. According to Eric Holman, CEO, right? The Bionano genomic space, optical genome mapping, right? He believes that is the next wave of innovation where it is going to spring from, because partly, number one, it is not a saturated market. There's no one else in the market besides Bionano. And if there are other companies that someone is going to illuminate me in the comments, if there's some more in there, please comment. If there are, there's not going to be a lot, because I haven't found them, and I know plenty of you guys have not found them. So there's only going to be a few, if there are any in the world, okay? Let alone on the NASDAQ exchange, right? New York Stock Exchange. But guys, because of the normal genome space getting so much governmental subsidy, right? Well, that's just one space. That's just one side of genomics. Bionano, I'm not calling before. I know some people might put the dots together, draw the dots, connect the dots together before they need to be. I'm not calling that Bionano is about to get a government subsidy, right? We saw some articles alluding to that in the past, right? In the recent past. I did not call it then, and I'm not calling it now. But what I will say is that the genome space is a favorite for the government to give some money to, throw some money to. The government likes throwing money to everyone, essentially, in a way, okay, in a sense, in my opinion, okay. I think that's fair to say at this point, especially with, I'm not saying this is good or bad. I'm not saying this is good or bad, but the current administration very much likes to have big government, a lot of spending, a lot of projects, a lot of government agencies, a lot of subsidies, potentially. Big government, more subsidies. It's a direct correlation and it's a positive correlation. Now, regardless of whether that's good or bad for everyone, for the economy, it is 100% good for Bionano, if they get one, of course. Is there a chance for that? I think there is, because optical genome mapping, who knows what there's going to be to offer. And given that they were doing so many governmental subsidies to the normal genome space, once they figured out that Bionano is actually legit and it is the company that we know it can be, they're going to be like, hey, this is a whole new space that is untapped. It's in an untapped market. Why don't we throw a little money to them? Why don't we see if they can come up with some groundbreaking COVID developments, right? Some solutions, some genetic therapy solutions, right? Among a ton of other things, right? So it's just an idea. That's what I think is a possibility. And I do not want to get any comments. You come whatever you want, but I'm not going to censor you. Okay, you say whatever you want, but I'm not calling. Don't think I'm calling that Bionano is about to get a subsidy. It is a possibility for reasons I mentioned there. According to Simply Wall Street, this is kind of to be expected. Now, me personally, I think the revenue is going to be growing much faster than this, but I just want to show you all that in the next couple of years here, especially 2024, 2025, they are expecting more than 100% revenue beats. Like, look at this. It goes from 50 million a year to 127 million, 250 million. Okay. These are good numbers, okay? These are good revenue numbers nonetheless, right? Now, regardless of what they think about the earnings per share, right? I definitely disagree about this. They think they're not gonna be profitable for a while. I definitely disagree with that. But their earnings, I think they have a fairly, somewhat fair, not really fair. I'm much more bullish than they am, obviously. Okay, I'm a little biased because I'm actually a shareholder, right? These guys may not be, but nonetheless, I'm pretty sure a lot of my claims are justified, right? I think it's safe to say that we're going to be expecting Bionano to grow a little faster than this. But this is high growth, and I just want to show you guys that Simply Wall Street, a conventional, I guess I would consider them a conventional analysis website, projects insane growth long term. By 2025, they're making 250 million a year. They're making and their revenue, right? And their revenue right now, it's like, what is it? What is it right now? It says right here, okay, 8 million. They're making 8 million a year. In 5 years, it's 250 million a year. That is insane. Okay, and that's in a couple. That's in 4 years, right? 4 or 5 years, basically. That's a while, but that's still insane growth. So I just wanted to let you guys. Earnings report on their website. They've got several upcoming milestones in 2021. I hope you are aware of some of these. We literally went over the prototype in a very informative video, in my opinion. We also have, I want to point out, we're going to be going more in depth on this in the future on all this stuff, I'm assuming. But we have the commercial release of prenatal assays, and expansion of the menu of pediatric assays. This is going to be good. Prenatal assays is basically, if we actually look over here, tumor genomic assays. It's a little complicated. They analyze a sample of a cancer tumor to see how active certain genes are, the activity level of these genes, okay, blah, blah, blah. Genomics tests are used to help make decisions about whether more treatments after surgery would be beneficial. Now, this is kind of what I've been talking about for a while. The genomic research and development and analysis space and all this stuff that Bionano is doing, I think there's going to be a high probability of a a service slash product, probably maybe both at one point, before we get to know which one's more efficient. They're going to be able to analyze a human genome and literally tell you you're going to be more susceptible to this. We can go in there and change something maybe. Now this one's a little more speculative, but the first one they are definitely going to be able to do, I think, by optical genome mapping in some form or way, help out or do it completely. They're going to be able to go in, and BioNano is going to be involved with helping analyze genomes to determine whether someone's susceptibility is higher to cancer or tumors or whatever it is. Take your pick. Also, the more speculative idea, if you didn't know this already, that they're actually going to be able to go into your genome and literally just fix it. Literally. Now that is a lot more. I think the first one is very likely. The second one, I'm going to say that is more down the line, advanced stuff. That's tweaking genetics. I know I've seen some crazy stuff that they're able to do already, but that is probably going to be more down the line. But definitely keep this one on your radar. Prenatal is before or relating to the birth of a child, of course. So there you go. There's your, you know what assays are now. An expansion of the menu of pediatric assays. All right, this is something that we're going to be watching for, and we're going to be diving more into actually what this means and how they can actually do that, how they're actually going to be able to doing this. Like, what is the commercial release? Like, what is that? Okay, right. How are they going to be doing this? We're going to be going over that, but we don't have enough time today. Looking at their Twitter, they put out this little thing that looks like a Matrix computer, a little bit, but it's blue instead of green. Yeah, labeled manta ray DNA going through the BioNano Sapphire in real time. This is the due diligence. I'll link this for you if you want to look at it. But what we want to check out here is that this Sapphire, their high-speed, high-throughput whole genome mapping solution, offers unmatched structural variation discovery capabilities and the ability to construct the most complete genome assemblies. This is kind of, you guys, I'm sure some of you are probably putting the pieces together on why I think that this fact given this fact and the fact that their space that they're in is untapped and it's not saturated market, right? And that, I know I've been repeating that, but that just means that there's not a lot of information about it. There's not mainline literature. It's not like mainline history books, Civil War, right? Mainline Civil War. No, that's not. There's no books on optical genome mapping, really. I mean, there are, I bet, but it's not like they can offer information that's actually going to be high, in depth and high quality because it's an untapped market. No one knows a ton of stuff. No one knows about it. That's really what I'm trying to get at. I mean, it's no one know compared to long read sequencing. Optical genome mapping is a baby. So I wanted to let you guys know. I can't really rant too much about that because we're gonna run out of time. It's gonna be 7 hours long. There are no limits to what solutions may present themselves as we learn more about the genome contingencies and what tweaks or patterns mean what. This is kind of elaborating a little bit on what I said earlier, but I'm just going to read this because we've already gone for a while. This is because the optical genome mapping space is extremely new, relatively, of course, and has plenty of things left to be discovered, in my opinion. And also, if you think I'm the only one that thinks about this second point, the CEO, Eric, agrees with me completely. That's why I'm so confident in this, actually. Current positions. I think I sold like $200 worth of Mora when it was up like 10%. Now it's up 15%. I added it on MP. I added it on MP when it was down like 3. It was down like 3% this morning. Added on there. Obviously, that was a pretty smart move. Short term, at least short term. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. Those are all my current positions. This is why I'm the most transparent YouTuber, in my opinion. Sounds arrogant, I know it does, but it's truth, in my opinion. Relevant information in regards to the Twilight was finished now. It's not financial advice, guys. Thank you all so much. See you all in the next one.